1990 at 3:03 p.m. This was recorded, and these were Gibson Island Corporation procedures for approval for demolition, new construction, exterior changes, or improvements of the property. So this was a modification to the 1925 deeds. So it specifically says that no buildings, fence, wall, bulkhead, revetment, drainage, or sewage system, or other structure may be commenced, erected, or maintained, and that no addition, change, or alteration may be made to any existing structure until the plans and specification for them, so plans and specifications for them have been submitted to and approved by the corporation. So no construction or landscaping may be done in the corporation right-of-way, which exists approximately 20 feet from the center of the road, unless approved by the board. So all of these roads are supposed to have a right-of-way 20 feet from the center of the road. And of course, the road is defined as a place, a way, a path, really anything. So that was the guideline in 1990, the new guidelines. And of course, for plans for buildings, etc., to be approved by the company. No building, fence, wall, drainage, or sewage system, or other structure shall be commenced, erected, or maintained on said tract, nor shall any addition or change to or alteration therein be made until the plans and specifications. What do they have to show? Showing the nature, kind, shape, height, so there have to be dimensions, materials, so it's got to be details, floor plans, color scheme, that would be colors, can't be black and white, location, and approximate cost of such structure, and the grading plan of the plot to be built upon shall have been submitted to and approved in writing by the company, and a copy thereof, as finally approved, logged permanently with the company. So when you go to the Hopkins house, which is 1746 Banbury Road, these were the design development plans done on 6/3/98, 8 years later. So clearly, they had to follow the plans. So somewhere on these design development perspective plans, by the way, these are the only plans that exist in the files. All right, these sheets right here. No other plans exist in the files. Mr. Hopkins and Henry and Nancy have huge rocks in the corporation right-of-way road, as you'll see from this video. And they submitted these plans. There's no color scheme. There's no dimensions. They're design development perspective plans. And they were allowed to build the largest house. Some people say it's 11,000 feet. Some people say with the basement it's 14,000 feet. Bottom line, it's the largest house on the island, and it follows nothing. So why is a group home for the disabled treated differently, and a right-of-way road that is designated by the corporation today, still designated today, why is that being removed to make it more difficult and dangerous for the disabled with regard to fire and septic, the big issues that the corporation wanted? Let's just go through these prospective design development plans with no dimensions, no colors, no cost, nothing. So basically looks like dollhouse drawings. And because of no dimensions, nobody knew that this was going to be the largest house on the island. Again, not 8 years later, no dimensions, no colors, no costs, no floor plans. But somehow these plans got approved, and somehow Henry and Nancy have large boulders in the right-of-way of the asphalt road, and the gravel road the corporation is trying to remove to make it more dangerous for the disabled from a fire protection standpoint and from servicing the septic system, which again was one of the big issues. The corporation wanted the affluent, the fecal matter, to be monitored daily. Hard to monitor that daily if the septic truck can't get easy access. Again, looks like a dollhouse drawing. No dimensions, no color scheme, no floor plans, no grading plan, no costs. So these are the plans, and this was, I mean, that's it. Those plans don't comply with the deeds and agreements. They are permanently logged. They're in the files. Ashley Seen gave them to us. So that's all that exists in the Hopkins file. Why are we being treated differently than the Hopkins? Now, September 9, 2021, President of the corporation, Guy Sakala, finally admitted that they have Gibson Island Corporation has no jurisdiction over any lots in the critical area. Henry's lots in the critical area. Both of our houses are in the critical area. Church is in the critical area. So, again, we should have never been in court for that. And given this is our 8th time, but for those misrepresentations, we were allowed to, after they denied us the first time for reasonable accommodation, they denied us the 8th time. And again, we didn't sue them, they sued us first. At 1753 Banbury in the gravel can't possibly be, because the middle of the road should be right here. It's only 15'10" and not 20 feet. So that's definitely the right-of-way stake for the right-of-way road, which is the gravel. And it says nail set in gravel and points right to the nail set in gravel. The other one says right-of-way nail set in gravel. So let's see how far this one is from the center of Banbury Road. It's already 24. So this one is 24, right about the center of the road. This one is about 24, 23.7 from the center of the road. About 23 feet, center of the road. So again, that one's referring to this nail spot, which is that nail spot, which is about 15'7" from the center of the road. So that's not 20 feet either. So these two are referring to this right of way. If you look at the pole, which BG&E's normally not wrong, so the pole doesn't line up with the first stake, and the pole is not quite as far as the second stake. So the pole would normally be in the corporation's, the people, the developers right of way. Actually, Gibson Island, per the article, set up this electric system in the 1927 article, and then turned it over to BG&E at some point. Find out how far that is. Stabilization wire from the center of the road, and that's pretty close. Center of the road. That's 20 feet right there. The center of the road to where that pole would be. So that would make sense, unlike Mr. Hopkins, who's got all those little white things in the church. So that really is the road go along here, and that's lining up with the corner property corner pipe found right there, evidently. So that's kind of lining up, sort of, if their survey is to be believed, which means it goes right through there. So those other stakes are staking out that right of way, 13 feet of the right of way, allow him to put big rocks in there, and they want to take away from the disabled a right of way, which is a right of way to its own, again, stamped by them. So they want to take away this right of way, which is our second form of egress, but the best fire protection access, best septic protection, again, septic pump outs right there. You know I'm recording you, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you're okay with it, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this much easier? You also do Henry's house, right? Next door.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So you do Henry Hopkins, but this is much easier to get to these tanks.
Much closer.
Yeah, much closer, right? Makes more sense.
Yeah.
They haven't done it for the 13 years of when the Hennessy's owned it. In fact, they let the Hennessy's improve this and all the cobblestones, where the Hennessy's cobblestone, this gravel is the Hennessy's gravel. They showed us the pictures before. They actually gave those to us last year, designating this has always been a road entering to a driveway. We use that overflow parking area quite a bit. We obviously use this all the time. We cut off a piece of the joint shared driveway right there. You can see the piece we cut off because we didn't know there was a membrane under that first level deck. So we cut this off. So it actually was, and they have pictures from their drone, it actually was a literally shared right-of-way, which was used for years, 13 years actually, 14 years. Again, this is a designated road by the corporation, and it was designated on a picture given to us, several pictures actually by Ashley, that were in the file. But you know, Henry can't have, I mean, his sign is in the right of way, and all these little stakes he staked out part of the road. They're letting him use part of the road, yet they're trying to take away a road from us. That's 20 feet right there, and that's about in the center of the alligator marks of the road, and that's way over into the bush. So that entire rock is in the right-of-way. It makes sense because there's a drain over there. It's like it's about 100 years old, and it is about, again, center of the road. So that drain is about 18 feet from center of the road. Makes sense with the telephone pole. So Henry's put rocks in the right of way. And you can see that certainly that whole rock, massive rock, and half of that rock is in the right of way. And of course, Henry's just claiming about 13 feet of the right of way as his yard. Yet the telephone pole there is set back